Good morning and welcome back to North Dakota Today. Well, joining us is our favorite official astrologer of North Dakota today, Kaiva Rose. Good morning, Kaiva.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So good to have you back here. And we've got a lot to talk about. We've got a full moon tomorrow night and it's in Leo. So let's dive right in. What does that mean?
Yeah, so the full moon is at 7:53 a.m.
Oh.
So it's right after sunrise. And so if you want to see the full moon at its peak, go out right before sunrise and go look at the west and you'll see a big moon and it'll be wonderful. So it's the full moon and it's at 24 degrees of Leo.
Ooh.
And so what that means is that whenever the sun is in Aquarius and the moon is in Leo, that's the full moon because they're on the 180 degrees from each other.
Okay.
And so it's in opposition. So what's nice is that when we're put all of our energy, because wherever the sun is in the sky, whatever sign it's in, is where all of our attention is going. And so all of our attention has been going to focusing on Aquarius-like things. So this is all about social community, it's all about social causes, it's all about plans for our future. So because we've been so into that and with our perspective, it's nice to have the full moon in Leo because Leo is all about self. So it balances the needing to put so much energy on everybody else, community, collective, and it reminds you of you. Because in order to know what you represent to the collective, to the social groups you belong in, you have to have a sense of self.
Of course.
And so it's really, really nice to have this little break to just remember to have fun because the domicile ruler of Leo is the sun. And so the sun is in Aquarius, and so when it gets to shine its light on the full moon in Leo, it's happy because it's reminded to have fun. It's reminded to celebrate life. It's reminded to self-express, but it's also reminding you to not get emotional because Leos are emotional.
Yes.
Leos love to self-express because Leo is the self. It is the ultimate expression of self, where Aquarius is exactly opposite. And so it's finding that balance between putting all of yourself into social causes and collective versus self.
Okay, so this is some good news. I feel like a lot of people, when they hear the term full moon, they're like, uh-oh, bad things, odd things are happening. So what does this mean in our day-to-day lives?
Well, so it is, you know, when a full moon does happen, it's the fullness of an energy. And being that it's meant to bring a balance. And so you get two polar things happening. The sun is in a sign shining its light upon the moon, who also has a lot of power at that time. So what happens is you have a pole in duality, and that's why it's finding the balance. So in this one, it's remembering that you are a unique individual, so not to put all yourself into belonging into a group. It's saying, I am an individual with a self-expression. How do I fit into this group based on what I want to represent? Now this full moon, we also have to have err on caution because Uranus and Taurus is square this full moon, which means that in order to really understand what we represent to the collective, what our future plans are, we have to have a good awareness of what we are ending, what we are breaking through in our habits, our traditions, our standards, and the norms that we live by. So it's important to make those changes and or recognize what changes have happened, because that will be a big influence for how we no longer need certain plans for the future, have to belong in certain dynamics and collectives. And so, yeah, those are some things we have to remember.
Yeah, and it fits into our theme of self-improvement for this, focusing on ourselves.
Yes.
So how long is this going to last?
Okay, so yeah, the full moon is at 7:53 a.m. tomorrow. And the full moon lasts for about 15 degrees. The moon moves about 13 degrees per day. So it's like a whole day. But once it reaches max fullness, tomorrow morning, it's kind of waning out of it. So if you want to do anything to kind of embrace the full energy, you got to do it before the full moon. And so the moon is often a time where if you want things to grow, you do things on the rise to the full moon. And then when you want to let things go, from the full moon to the new moon, you let go. And so what we're letting go of from the full moon to the new moon is what we no longer want to represent, what we no longer want for our future, and what we want to just recognize that is our unique self-expression.
Okay, I love that. And everybody has a chance for this, but I'm going to pick Kaiva's brain. And we're going to get a little personal. So I do have my own chart. that I'm going to have you look at so you can give me a little more specifics on how this could affect me.
Well, it's really fantastic because this is actually, you have a Leo moon.
Oh.
So you were born with the moon, like I can't tell what degrees it is here, but you were born pretty much with the moon at 24 degrees of Leo.
Okay.
So this is your lunar return. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, nice and big for you.
So you can see your moon there in Leo. So this is your lunar return, which this is like a new phase for you in your own personal self-expression. Every month, is month,
I like
we have a lunar return.
Okay.
So this is yours. So for you, this is an opportunity to look at fifth house things, which are pleasures, which are passions, which are hobbies, and asking yourself which ones actually honor you and your unique self, and which ones are just kind of like, have just been there for too long and it's time to kind of let them go, because they actually don't cater to you and who you want to become.
Okay, so a little February spring cleaning of yourself.
For you.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. It's always a pleasure to hear about all of these happenings and kind of educate everybody if they're not into astrology.
Yes, so if you would like to get a reading, you can contact me at 11kaivarose33.com. I'm available at the Spirit Room in downtown Fargo. Wednesdays are my walk-in day from 2 to 4:30.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you. We'll see you on here next time.
Yes, thank you.
Now, if you are tuning in, don't go anywhere. Coming up on today's show, Bergstrom Estate.